Hello, everyone. So welcome to today's broadcast of Fit and Fat, teaching you how long should it take for me to do this weight loss thing. So if you're watching the replay, I am Corinne Crabtree. You can go to pnp411.com if you don't know anything about me and download my free weight loss course. And I also have a podcast called Losing 100 Pounds with Fit and Fat. And today we're going to talk all about this question that I get most often, because I know that all of us worry about, first of all, we have a lot of worries when it comes to losing weight anyway, right? Everybody's always terrified about it's going to take too long. It's how far I have to go. I'm going to fail again, all that kind of stuff. And what I think ends up happening is that when we start worrying about how long it's going to take for us to do weight loss during a typical day and stuff, it's really what it's doing is coming from this idea of fear that we can't do it. So I want you guys to just hang with me for a second when I say this. When you are scared you can't do something, the first line of defense for your brain is to protect you. This is just the way humans are. Back in the old days, and when I say old days, I mean like prehistoric caveman days, our brain interpreted threats of being scared and being in danger and failing and things like that as in life or death type situations. Well, we don't have those anymore. So we have the exact same feelings on the inside that generate the exact same chemicals and stuff as they did a million years ago. Or I don't know, y'all, I have no clue how long ago it was, but just remember, saber-toothed tigers, caves, I walk outside, I get ate. Nowadays, what we do is we generate the same hormones, we generate the same feelings and stuff, and we think it's life and death situation. And so our brain now, because it doesn't have a tiger to actually run from, what it does is it figures out how to run from the diet. It figures out how to run from whatever it is our preconceived notion that is a threat to us. So the way it likes to run now is to create up bullshit excuses for ourselves. Like the number one problem I see you guys have, seriously, is you all think, one, you're so fucking busy that you can't get anything done, when I know, I applaud all of you that have a lot to do. I feel you. I got kid. I just moved last week. I got all the things. But I never sit around and talk about how busy I am, because it's always going to be a cock blocker to getting shit done that I really want to get done in my life. But one of the things you guys do is you say you're busy. And if I ask anyone, you have no accounting of your time. If I said, all right, well, just show me everything you did the last 7 days. Pop open your calendar. Let's see where you're spending all of your time. Or you don't have that. You've been doing a lot of running around and feeling busy, but you don't really even know what your days and your times are filled with. And then when it comes time to chasing your dream and wanting to lose your weight, and making it come true for yourself, you fall back on how you don't have enough time, and you blow out of proportion how fucking long it's going to take to actually not overeat. I tell people all the time, it's if time is an issue for you, then you should be the exact one who's trying to lose weight, because you won't be spending your time eating as much. That's what happens. We quit overeating. We quit eating because we're stressed, because we're bored, because it's time, because we want something to do, because somebody put something in front of us. When you stop doing all that, guess what you have? An abundance of time. And the biggest problem with busy people is they like to stay doing things because they don't like what's left in the margins. They don't like what's going on in their head when they don't have something to distract them. So they're distracting themselves with other people's agendas. They're distracting themselves with food, with shopping, with busy work, with saying yes to things. So if they're not left to have to sit and listen to what they think about and how they judge their lives and the dreams that they haven't accomplished yet and the things that they wish they could do. And rather than carving out time to do some of that stuff, they just go back to being busy. So I wanted to talk about this because y'all know that next week I'm getting ready to open the tribe. If you don't know, April 3rd through April 5th, if you want to work with me, that's the time to get in, because I don't open again until the end of June. But the number one question I'm getting is now, Aunt Corinne, I'm busy. How am I going to fit all this in? How am I going to do all this? I'm going to tell you exactly how you do it today based upon how I did it. I was joking around the other day talking to a group of people saying that I was my first client. Like I was number one tribe member. I will always be the first tribe member. I will be the one who had the hardest, longest, most time consuming, just crazy ass, overwhelming program of anybody that will ever go through PMP Tribe. Because I was the one that had to figure all the shit out without a guru, without a Facebook, without Google, without all the things. We didn't even know healthy fats were good for you yet. Like, we didn't know shit back when I was losing weight 14 years ago. But I figured all of it out. And I'm going to tell you how long it took me. It was not as much time during the day as you would think. And everybody today has it so much easier. We just keep telling ourselves that we have it so much harder. When it comes back, though, to like, if you think you're busy, like what I want you guys to really do is I want you to find like, where are you spending time? Like all the, like guys, I'm not going to knock you, but there's a lot of you on this Facebook Live right now who swear to God, you're so busy all the time. All the time, so busy. But somehow you found my ass and made time for a Facebook Live. But you didn't make a 24-hour plan today. You didn't exercise today. Like there's like, you didn't like plan like what you were going to eat for your breakfast and your lunch. You haven't thought through or visualized today how you're going to make healthy changes. I love me. Don't get me wrong. And I think it's great that you all are here and this is part of your self-development and stuff. But at the same time, priorities, people. Before you found me live, where were you on Facebook? What were you doing? How much time are we spending each day, seriously, grabbing this guy and just looking at some things and like, 5 minutes. 3 minutes. Oh, what's I'm going on Instagram? Oh, what's my Fitbit count for the day? Oh, what's the weather going to be like tomorrow? Oh, what did you say? Like, I don't know what the average temperature in Nashville is in June. Let me Google that. Like all of those small moments are all of the times that we're fucking around, not making a 2-minute, 24-hour plan. When we're not doing our assessments. When you're not thinking about what you're going to eat this weekend and visualizing yourself having an unplanned weekend versus blowing it out the water on the weekend. And it doesn't just stop here. How many of you are getting shit in the mail, like catalogs and whatnot, and just flipping through it a little bit at a time? Guys, we all have so much time. It is unreal. But we're allowing ourselves to grab ass these small moments and losing small pockets of opportunity that we have to think about our best version of ourselves, to change the conversation that we're having about our body every day, to visualize, like for all of you that like in the groupies, you guys had this big long epic thread going on about how you're fucking the weekends up, like you're so on fire Monday through Thursday. Then here comes Friday and it's like margaritas, chips, and whatever my husband wants to eat on Saturday. This is why I go live in my tribe every Friday morning with those girls at 12 o'clock. Every Friday we do a weekend motivator just to get our head dialed into what we're going to be doing on the weekend. But here's the thing. Like all those small moments when you're fucking around on your phone and you're texting anybody and everybody who wants a moment of your attention thinking, I got to respond right now. Like all of those moments are opportunities for you to be thinking about how you're going to show up this weekend. For you to be thinking like, oh, what am I having for lunch today? Like at 10 o'clock, rather than taking a break and diddling on your phone, visualize yourself actually eating that damn salad that you brought for lunch, rather than waiting for somebody to say, like, oh, I brought a salad, but oh my God, they presented free food. What am I supposed to do? Sabotage City. Nobody cares about me. Don't they all know I'm dieting? Like, no, you didn't even know that you're trying to lose weight at 10 o'clock when you grabbed Facebook rather than sitting there and recommitting and doubling down on your dreams. That's all you. Because when you spend more time doing that than fucking around with social media, screwing around with catalogs, checking texts from anybody and anyone, going through your email and be like, oh, look, Dairy Queen said happy birthday and sent me a free blizzard. Like all that kind of stuff. That's the stuff you have to pay attention to. If you want to speed up weight loss, quit paying attention to that stuff. Start paying attention to your mind. Start thinking more about your weight loss. A lot of you, like I had somebody the other day ask me, like, don't you just get tired of just being obsessed about your health? Like, no, I will never be tired of being obsessed about my health. I fucking want to live to be at least 100. You know what I'm not tired of? Being obsessed with why I can't lose weight. I was fucking obsessed with that for 30 years of my life. That blew goats. I will never do that again. I will every day think about good food that's going in this body, how I'm going to move, how I'm going to live a long life, have the energy and the desire to chase my dreams and do the shit that I want to do. Yeah, I'll be a fucking obsessed, crazy person on that day, every day. I will never regret that. Ever. You know, I don't really believe in regret, but I will say this. I do not miss one moment the inner self-talk drama that I went through for 30 years, that I used to think that healthy people were obsessed. I was wrong. I was obsessed. I was obsessed about not being the best version of me. I was obsessed with figuring out how to escape my life, how to escape my depression through food. I was obsessed with sitting on my couch, figuring out how to avoid doing anything that required the best of me. That part, I don't miss 1 ounce. I will never miss that part. So when it comes to like losing weight and how much time does it take, let me just give you a quick rundown. When I tell my girls in the tribe, they get 2 minutes to do their 24-hour plan every day. 2. If they're taking longer than that, they need to ask for some help from us on what the fuck are they thinking about. Because I guarantee you, it's not because they don't know what they're going to put on their plan. It's because they got bullshit, like expectations they're putting on themselves, worrying that they're not going to get to eat what they want when they want to. They're going to have food stuff that's emotional that we need to address. The quickest way to know if you've got bullshit food drama is to say, hey, I need you to write down everything you're going to eat for the next 24 hours on a piece of paper, and I need you to do it in 2 minutes, and go. All drama comes up because it's either drama or it's like, oh, I thought it was going to take longer than that. That's easy. That's the way. Then they get a whole whopping 5 minutes a night to assess what the fuck they ate. Now, I give them 5 minutes if they want to like go long. You know what takes me? About 2 minutes. I even give them, let's see, yeah. They even get a planner from me that tells them, answer these damn questions. So they get 5 minutes or they can take 2. So now we're up to, on a long day, 7 minutes to lose weight. 7 minutes of our day. Then, all those times when they are on Facebook or dicking around or sitting at a stoplight or wherever that we have all this margin time, they visualize. They're supposed to be thinking about like, oh yeah, let me remind myself what's on this plan. Oh yeah. So they don't go to lunch and be like, oh, I forgot I was supposed to eat a salad. You should not forget because you're supposed to be giving yourself cues all the time about what the hell you put down on your plan. Unless you're like me, I don't need to give myself a cue. I eat the same thing every day for a week. I make it real simple for myself. I don't want to spend my time being obsessed about food. And I also don't want to spend my time, like I got a kid to love. I got cats that want to snuggle me. I got a husband who adores the shit out of me. I've got all kinds of fun things in this world I want to do. And one of the things that I have learned how to do for me is to not make the lunch that I eat by myself at my house while I'm working an orgasm. It does not need to be one. It needs to be food so that I can get back to doing my life. And that's the thing. Food is not our life. Food is the backdrop to giving us the energy to go out and live our life. And if you don't have that life, then you need to work on that problem. That's what I work with my clients on. What's left after we take the food away? And I don't even make them get hungry like most diets. I'm just like, hey girl, I just need you to just make a realistic plan, like realistic, like chips, the ice cream should be on the plan. And then I need you to eat when you start to get hungry. I need you to stop when you're satisfied. Everything else is life after that. So we got 7 minutes. Then we've had experiments in our tribe where we have timed how long it takes us to eat. Because everybody's always like thinking it's so much longer it is. The average is about 8 minutes. So you do those 3 squares a day, 24 plus 7 is 31. Can y'all believe I'm even doing math? This is amazing. I've had 2 cups of coffee. It might help my math skills. So 31 minutes a day, including when we eat, is spent on our weight loss. You take in some time to pee because you're drinking your water. And let's just give ourselves, say, a 30-minute walk a day. That's weight loss. The walk is even optional. You're already eating, so you don't even get to count that time technically. I mean, it just takes so little time. But our brains immediately go to, I don't know if I'm going to have time for all this shit. I don't know. Now, if you were to join P&P, there's some videos. You have to listen to shit like this. But you got a private member podcast. Put it in your car, put it in your shower, put it wherever you have those times, and push play. You do not have to be sitting at a computer going, I got to watch everything. No, just listen. Like, that's weight loss. We have to quit telling ourselves that it's going to be so hard, that it's going to be impossible, that it's so scary, that it's everything. No, we're going to start eating when we get hungry, and we're going to stop when we're satisfied. And that part is a learning process. Eventually, you get used to it. If you're used to eating to full the first few times that you stop at satisfied, the hardest part of it will be the sentences that run through your brain. That's it. Let's quit making weight loss be such a big fucking scary deal. And for all of you who are so afraid that you're going to fail, it's like, why are you choosing to sit around and be afraid of failure and not like your weight right now? Why not just get in there and start doing it and mess up and learn how to like yourself when you mess up and keep going? Why, don't pre-fail your ass out of it. Don't sit there and say, I'm so afraid I'm going to fail. I'll just fail right now. That'll be even better. I won't even give myself the option of it working. I'll just automatically give myself the default of failure right now. It doesn't hurt less, I promise you. Add up the time that you spend wanting it, listening to these Facebook Lives, reading what other people are doing, like wishing that you were like some of the people who were posting success pictures. Add up all of that and you tell me if that doesn't hurt. What feels good, guys, is learning how to have your own back when you overeat and you figure out why you were doing it and you solve that problem, the real root of it. That feels amazing. The day that you get to look back and you say like, oh, I used to eat when my husband didn't tell me he loved me at night because I always made it mean he didn't love me rather than he was tired. Thank God I got some help on that because now I don't have to eat anymore because I've learned how to love myself. I've learned how to look at the way he acts in different ways and find the love. You fix shit like that, you don't need Snickers at night and you don't need ice cream and you don't need chips. The problem is no one's teaching you that stuff. Weight loss doesn't take a lot of time. Remaining who you are, if you don't like, and I don't mean like when I say remaining who you are and you don't like who you are, it doesn't mean you have to be hating yourself. It's like if you're sitting there and you're thinking, there's something more for me. I want to be one of those people that feels really good in their body. I want to be one of those people who like actually enjoys eating healthy. I want to be one of those people who wants to go for a walk rather than going to their pantry. I just want to be one of those people that when they look at themselves, the first thing that they think is, you're a pretty good person. I like what I see. Rather than somebody who sits there and says, I wonder if my day will ever come. Like, that is what's really important for you to recognize. All of that stuff is taking way too much of your time. Losing weight won't take near as much time as you think it will. And it will give you so much time, freedom in your brain, freeing yourself up from all this other bullshit. It's unreal. All right. I am going to do some questions. And Betsy is putting them in for me. Do you replace your joy food? This is from Tanya. If you go off plan, if you originally planned it for another day, find that I have no willpower. You need to work on willpower more than you need to work on whether or not you should deserve joy food or not. You do not need willpower. If you are like saying, I have no willpower, you're doing it wrong. Your weight loss should not require willpower. Any diet that requires you to like tap willpower all the time is the wrong one for you. That's not how I teach it. You need to either plan more realistically. You need to go back to the podcasts. You need to listen to some of the podcasts where we talk about meeting yourself where you're truly at, not where you think you should be. If you're relying on willpower, you will always fail diets. Willpower takes an incredible amount of energy and it takes an incredible amount of inner strength. And we only have so much in our body. And what I find most people do is they try to set themselves up for these perfect days and they're not working on their mindset throughout the day. And so you're never going to have enough willpower at night if every single day you're having a shitty day. Because by the evening, you'll be out of mental bandwidth. You need to think about throughout your day, like how many decisions can I make today? Like what are the things I'm no longer going to think about? What is the bullshit stories that I'm telling myself every single day about my, like from 8 to like, this is a very helpful for you guys from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. For all of you who overeat, especially after 8 o'clock at night, or for my teachers from 6 until 4, just pick your window of opportunity. What is the shit that I'm telling myself during that window that feels heavy, stressful, and depressive? Because if it's all of that stuff is what you have to work on, you solve those things, then at 4 o'clock or 8 o'clock, you will not need to eat. And if, when you want the food, just because you'll just want it because you've had it, you will then have the mental bandwidth to say no and focus on your dreams. But if you spend all day long pressing on the gas, going 100 miles per hour with negative thinking, you have no bandwidth left at 4 o'clock or 8 o'clock. Now you're seeking relief. You're not seeking your dreams anymore. You're seeking relief from all the shit that you compounded all day long on yourself. How do I get over the drama of writing a recovery worksheet after an overeat? I end up doing it the next morning after I feel guilty for not doing it. Stacy, you're just going to, like, you need to ask yourself, what is the drama that I'm telling myself? This is a tribe member for all of you who will be like, what's a recovery worksheet? This is the sheet that I have my clients do when they do an overeat. They're required to do a recovery worksheet. What is the drama that you're having, Stacy? If it is, it will take too much time, then do the 2-minute drill version. That blows your time excuse out of the water. If it's, I just don't want to, you need to ask yourself, why don't I want to? It's probably because you're going to be beating yourself up. The purpose of the recovery worksheet is to take you out of the beating up phase. So you just need to do it. The other thing is you need to make sure you have them printed and at the ready. So let's say you overeat every night on the couch. Here's how I would do it. I would have my PMP binder with about 50 recovery worksheets in the back. I would have this binder sitting right on my couch. I would probably, like, when I got home from work, the first thing I would do is drop this bad boy off right where the scene of the crime happens. So it's just staring at you. Make it so fucking painfully obvious it's time to do one, and then do one. And then if you have an accountability group, you need to talk to your group about them challenging you, texting you at night and stuff, to do your recovery worksheets until the overeating stops. And as you know from our Success Talks video this week, those recovery worksheets are the bomb. The girls that have lost 50, 90 plus pounds all were like, oh yeah, I do recovery worksheets all the time. Because overeating, guys, is not going to stop. The moment, Stacey, that you let go of the idea that that overeating is dramatic is the day you'll start gaining control and authority over them. What materials are included in the program as far as notebooks, journal, calendar? You can buy this one or you can just print it. So everything that's inside of this one, the girls can print it. I don't make people buy my stuff. You can, once you join, we always give you access to everything to just print. Or if you want to, like, a lot of people just don't want to have this, they don't want to have this printed, so they end up buying it from me. But I keep it at a cheap cost. I'm cheaper than Staples. But you get like workbooks. The courses all come with a workbook, so you print those off at home. They have worksheets and stuff. We have our own journal, of course. We have different types of calendars that we like to use. Like this month, we're doing a taking action where the girls have to do, it's a very fun challenge where they're tracking, doing things they don't want to do. It's all part of our monthly course. So we have a new course that comes out every month, or we reboot one that's been really popular in the past and we do them all again. Will you share your daily plan, eating the same thing every day? It just depends on which week it is. Let's see. This week I am eating broccoli salad with Asian tofu. I know I'm the weirdest. I love to mix different things up. And watermelon, that's my lunch. My breakfast is Kodiak pancakes. I have my coffee at 4:30 in the morning. You guys know I do my coffee. It's if you don't know, you can go to phit.click, CLICK/coffee, and you can find my coffee recipe. So I do my coffee at 4:30. I usually do breakfast. Like I did breakfast early this morning. I've already ate it at 8:30 because I knew I was going to be doing this call and I have calls all day. I have my broccoli salad and tofu for lunch. And then for dinner, in fact, my sister-in-law, the only reason I can't rattle it off so fast is because my sister-in-law just left it on, she came and brought all of our prep food last night, and I ordered all of it last Thursday. So, dinner is just my usual salad. So I ate this really big salad. It's got bacon, eggs, 2 kinds of beans, all the vegetables like celery, onion. I use kale lettuce, chopped broccoli. There's like 2 more vegetables in there. I can't think of them. Radishes usually, tomatoes if they're good. She just always puts all kinds of different vegetables in there for me. But yeah, that's what I'll be eating this week. And then like my son is eating spaghetti squash with marinara, black beans, and sauteed mushrooms. He's having these, he loves these little bacon wrapped weenie things. He's having that with green beans and fruit. And then what is his other meal? Oh, she made him a mushroom risotto. So he's having that. And then he loves mushrooms, you guys. And he has plenty of fruit. So my sister-in-law, one of the things that when it comes to weight loss taking a lot of time that I think is very valuable is to figure out like what can you do and what can you not be doing. So for Lord, I mean, up until last, I think September, I did a major food prep every Sunday. And I would spend about 3 hours doing my food prep and I'd be done. And I'd have everything cooked for the week. Well, one of the things that I wanted to do was I wanted to be able to add a call for my tribe on Sundays so that I can do group coaching with them, because a lot of my girls work during the week and I wanted people to have that opportunity to get coached by me if they work Monday through Friday and they can't come to an evening call. Because a lot of my girls, when they work Monday through Friday, they have their second job at night, which is their family. They can't necessarily always just be on a call. Sundays at noon tended to be a really good time where a lot of people are like, yeah, I can come to Sunday calls. So we do group coaching on Sundays. Well, in order for me to do that, I need to be able to free up my Sundays. And so my sister-in-law, I got creative. I said, okay, well, is there someone I know that would like to make a little extra money who could do my food prep so I can do this over here? And she does. And so it's worked out really well for all of us. And I think that's part of just losing weight. It's just getting creative. Especially if you feel like you're somebody who has, a pretty good busy schedule, it's like, okay, then don't fall victim to it. Start taking control over it. That's all I ever do. I take control over things. I never think of myself as the victim of anything. I'm always like, what's the best solution for this? I'll tell you, one of the most powerful questions I ever ask is, what's the easiest way to get this done? What is the easiest way? It's not always the perfect way. It's not always going to be the 100% A+, you get a gold star way. But I get a lot of shit done that way. You're just like, good enough. Let's do this. All right, bam, we're done. How can I stop being so angry at myself for being at the same spot, especially after trying so hard on Weight Watcher diets, eating balance and stuff? You're just the only way to stop being angry is to stop thinking your angry thoughts. Like, ask yourself, Meryl, like, what is it doing for me? This is what I always tell myself. Whenever I'm throwing shade at myself or whenever I'm thinking bullshit thoughts, I always just ask myself, in this moment, Corinne, what is this going to do for you? Is this going to help me lose my weight? Is this going to motivate me? Is this going to take me further? Is this going to change anything? The answer is no. Then I just say, then stop doing that bullshit. It would be like saying to your kids, if they're fighting and biting, well, how can we just convince you guys to not do that? We would never do that. I'd be like, get your ass off your brother right now. Nothing good is going to come from you biting your brother. You would separate them immediately. Like, we have to do the same thing. If we're fighting with ourselves and throwing a temper tantrum and biting ourselves and stuff like a toddler would, we have to separate ourselves and we have to say, like, there's nothing to be had here. Move along. There's nothing to be had there, Meryl. That shit's over. It's done. Anything else you think about it now, you better be fucking finding out what the hell worked and what didn't so you can move on. That's the only time I allow my clients to go dig around in their past about stuff. It's like, go look for what it taught you. Quit using it against yourself. It is so purposeless. It's unreal. I just want to maintain my weight, but learn how to do it in a healthy way. Is this group for me? Yes. If you're not maintaining your weight in a healthy way, then for sure. It's because it's driven from fear. If we're doing things that aren't healthy just to stay thin, then we're driving it from a fear of gaining weight and all that kind of stuff. I have plenty of people who have lost weight and have joined the tribe. Because what they didn't do is they didn't lose the 100 pounds of mental weight that they're carrying around on their ass. Like, guys, you can't just lose your physical weight and think it's all going to be great. It's not. If you don't lose the mental weight, you will live in complete fear, and you will doing that either leads to one of two things. If you're always scared you're going to gain your weight back, you will either seek relief from food and slowly gain it all back and more, or you will do unhealthy things, know that it's bad, feel bad about it, and carry an anchor around with you all the time. Guys, we all have to quit thinking that weight loss equals where we're going to be happy. That is not how it works. You will have moments of pride. When you buy small clothes, it will feel amazing. But you're not going to be able to buy clothes all the time. You're not going to be able to constantly check to see what you're wearing. Like, every time someone doesn't approve of you, you're not going to say like, yeah, but I only weigh 150. Isn't that great? You're going to be like, oh my God, somebody doesn't like me. And you're going to like have a shit fit about it. And if you haven't learned how to like love yourself through anything, then you're probably going to go back to your old patterns of just eating. Because we all have it in our brain that we're just going to be so happy when we lose our weight that we're going to gain confidence and we're going to suddenly not give a shit about what anybody else thinks and stuff. No, when you lose weight, all the way down, you are getting more attention. And then you come to a day where you don't get any more because people get used to the new you. Most of you, I would say only about 5% of the people I know in this world ever knew me when I was overweight. People don't just walk up and go like, oh my God, you lost 100 pounds. That's so amazing. You're not getting external feedback anymore. It's all on you. And if you haven't learned how to give yourself internal feedback on the way down, then when all the external feedback stripped back away that you were relying on, you're going to feel lost, confused. You're going to be worried. You're going to think something's going wrong. You're going to and a lot of you use your weight loss as a way to like avoid solving real problems in your life. I did that for a little bit when I'd already lost most of my weight. When Logan got diagnosed with autism, I did like a couple of bodybuilding competitions. And of course you had to do like hardcore dieting for that. I would never advise it, y'all. Again, I don't have regrets. It taught me a lot about food prep and stuff, but I will say this. It was a mind fuck, and I did not have the emotional tools that I have now. And I know that I used those competitions to avoid being scared, terrified, and worried about my child. I threw myself into those workouts. I threw myself into like under eating and stuff purely because I didn't want to focus on what was going on in my life. And it was hard. And my body, it took a toll because I had lost my weight the right way. And then I have this life-changing situation happen. And I threw myself into something that was just, it was hard. And when I retired from that, I knew that I really had to work on my brain. I had to work on my relationship with my child. Autism was still here. My baby was still here. Losing all that weight, getting on stage in a bikini and stuff didn't fix autism, and it didn't fix that relationship. It just allowed me to not have to deal with it for a little while. And then when I decided not to do that shit anymore, all of that was waiting for me. While also, because like when you get that thin for a show, like guys, I'm going to tell you, those shows, you have to get so thin. It is unreal. And it feels like ass. I'm going to tell you, I will never do that shit again. You start gaining weight to get back to normal, and you feel fucking lost. And when you have lost 100 pounds and you're just trying to get back to a normal weight of 150, I'm going to tell you, it is amazing to me that I was able to, I think sometimes this is why I was cut out to do all this stuff, because I really was paying attention to where my mind was going. My mind was immediately going to, you were gaining all your weight back. See, you knew you couldn't do this. And I had to really stop myself and start understanding what healthy was, why I started this journey to begin with, what my real purpose was. I had to dial back into all of it. And I think that's what makes me such a strong coach now, is that I totally get what it's like to not only start at 100 pounds and have to lose, but then to go way down the scale, then have to go back up. I mean, sometimes I feel like I've done it all. I probably have at this point. Okay. Last night, I felt the need to tell not one, but two waitresses why I ordered what I ordered. My sister had the sleeve done, so she can't eat much. My point is, I realized that I actually felt guilty for not ordering my own meal. I felt judged, as though I needed to explain myself and why I wasn't eating a full-size order. I wonder why I felt this way. You just felt that way because you were watching, you were worried more about what other people thought rather than just being really focused on what you thought. I realized many times I overeat out of some ridiculous imaginary explanation or obligation. It is a breakthrough moment. So I want you to just understand this, Kimberly. You've got to train your brain on how to put either better thoughts in other people's heads. This is what I always tell people. If you're going to go into someone else's head, if you're going to go in there, let's make sure that we tell the right story. The right story is the one for you. You don't really know what anyone is thinking, but I just want you to notice that you assumed people were thinking negative things. You assumed they were just judging you and stuff. Like if you're going to invite yourself into another head, then go in there and create a story that's going to make the most sense for you. I've been losing weight for 6 months, but I'm still not having an inclination for exercise. I've never had it. Is that something you think I should push through and make myself exercise, or just keep the food path and wait for my exercise love to come naturally? Exercise love doesn't typically come naturally. But here's the thing. Exercise is really good for you. Exercise is amazing for like your health and your long term, and I'm a strong believer in it, but it is not required for weight loss. This is one of the things I want everybody to remember. Exercise is not required to lose weight. Exercise is great for your health. So for all of you who are like exercising thinking that's the key to weight loss, check yourself before you wreck yourself. It is just not. I know plenty of people who exercise in beast mode all the time, myself included. I exercise like a crazy person, but it doesn't equal weight loss. You can out eat any diet. You can out eat any exercise plan. It's pretty simple to do it. So like focusing on your food and stuff is always going to be what I think is best for weight loss. Focusing on your mindset is number 1 to weight loss. Number 2 is food. Number 3 is going to be layering in exercise for health, wellness, stress relief, and all those other things. One of the things too that I would make sure you do, Brianne, is make a list of exercise, like if you're interested in it, make a long list of things that you wouldn't mind doing. Like today, I lifted a little upper body. I've just had my period. I moved last week and stuff. I was telling my girlfriend this morning as I was talking to her on the phone, I was like, I'm just right now not in the mood to do hardcore workouts. It's just not in my DNA for the next week or two. Like I really just want to like slow down. And I've been walking more and just like going and doing stretching and doing stuff like that because I'm always going to keep checking my mouth. So I don't need to worry that taking 2 to 3 weeks is going to like do anything wrong for me. But one of the things that's always been important with exercise for me is just like with food is I want to make sure that I love what I do. I did not lose all this weight to hate the process, to feel like it was a grind, to not enjoy my body, my time, my energy, any of it. Like that's not why I lost weight. I lost weight so I could be my best version of me, so that I could be an energetic, healthy mother, so that I could enjoy my life, so I could live a long time with my husband, so I could look good in clothes. That's why I lost my weight. I wanted to be sexy in clothes too. And I have all of that. And one of the things that I'm not going to do is bastardize it out of thinking that there are fake rules out there around all of it. So like I just been walking this morning. I just really enjoyed it. I had my phone. I do Marco Polo, had my girlfriend talking to her about my day. I was like, gonna get my mile in with you, Jane. I was going to town. And then I lifted a little upper body because I felt like it. Was it the upper body workout of my dreams and what I would have done a month or 2 ago? No. But it was enough to be like, yeah, this is good. I'm out. Got the rest of my day to live. And that's kind of what I want you guys to think about when it comes to weight loss. I want you guys losing weight and loving the process. I want you to love like just not only the things that you're doing for yourself, but when you love the things you're doing for yourself, you start really loving yourself. You start really understanding how to like enjoy you, enjoy your life. It just opens, like weight loss can open up so much joy. But we all think about it as such a hard, taxing, time-consuming, depriving restriction event. And it's like, fuck all of the people that have taught us that. Seriously. I mean, fuck all of them. That's not how it has to be. And we got to start getting the word out that being healthy and stuff does not have to be like that anymore. So anyway, it's kind of my rant on that. How do I overcome using my weight as a shield from past sexual abuse? We actually have coached on that several times, Crystal. I have a lot of sexual abuse survivors in my tribe. So one of the things it's kind of a deep topic, but one thing I can tell you about this is first and foremost, understanding that in the past you were sexually abused and that was in the past. And that's no reason to believe that the rest of the world is going to be like that 1, 2, or 3 individuals. Like I really like it when we talk about the idea of when we've been abused, we start assuming so many people are out to harm us and stuff. And then when we just kind of separate it out a little bit and we really look at our life as to how many people have actually been there for us, how many people actually are good people, how many people that are, just decent human beings walking around, opening doors for us. Like, I feel like I'm a decent human being on a Facebook Live. All these ladies over here commenting and talking to each other and doing stuff, all good human beings. we forget that all of them are out there and that we are way more likely to experience that in this world than we are what we had happen to us when we were younger. And I just think that that first is like a first step to understanding that we don't need the weight shield. We are more likely to get help in this world than we are to get harmed. Now, I know it's scary, and a lot of it is just understanding that it's scary to let all that go. So there's a lot to it. There's a lot of like rewriting your past, learning how to stop dwelling on it and thinking about it, learning how to be more present. A lot of like emotional changes and just like where you're spending your emotional time and stuff. But I think that one piece is really key. How to sort podcast defined topics Corinne's talking about. iTunes doesn't allow you to sort topics. Now in our tribe, we have our own private member podcast, and all of our videos are sorted by topic. So we do that for you there. So you can go online and you can find a video like on a specific topic, and then you can find it in our private member podcast if you want. But iTunes does not allow you to sort. You just kind of have to find them. How many cups of Bulletproof coffee a day do you usually drink? I am now just drinking one. I've gotten to where I only want to drink 1 cup of coffee. I used to split it out amongst 3. And now what I've done is I'm just making my 1 Bulletproof coffee in the morning, and then I'm drinking more water through the day. Like I just want to get my water train started a lot earlier. When I was drinking my 3 cups, so I would take my traditional recipe and I would split it out amongst 3 cups of coffee. What I noticed was I really wasn't getting any true water in until usually about 11 o'clock in the morning. And I really wanted to like get on the water train faster because of just, I'm talking so much these days that I need to stay extra hydrated. How frequently do you do camp? I don't want to miss it when I join. I will only have a limited amount of months. We have camps 4 times a year. So the one that Pam, if you join in April, you will have the opportunity to come to the October camp. If you wait until June, you won't be able to come to a camp until next January. Our October camp will sell out before June. We only have about, let's see, this camp we're having 150. In October we're going to do 200 because that's the amount of people that we can really get into that space. And it will sell out. Every one of them sells out within a few days. So, so if you're wanting to come to the October camp, you're going to want to make sure you join in April. Did you make a joy plan for once you stopped getting your joy from food? One of the things that I work on is finding, in fact, I can't even take a ton of credit for the way I'm going to say this. One of my clients talked about this. We had every month in our tribe, I do these courses. And on the 4th Monday of every month, we have what's called Tribe Success Talks. And we interview our most successful tribe members on video and have them tell us what's working for them and what they would tell people and really give a rundown of how they do the things that we teach. And she was talking about exception planning for exception meals and stuff. And that's a joy meal. And she talked about how she loves to find, y'all, you'll have to tell me the exact word Amy used. I can't remember the word she used, but it was kind of like joy. It was, she was saying she likes to see how much, deliciousness she can find in life. And I loved the way she talked about it. And I think even for me, that is like what I do is when I really started trying to figure out ways to find joy all throughout my life, like in the small moments, like really taking a moment to appreciate the way like the other day, I'll give you a stupid example. So the other day, our cats love us. Like, they're so in love with us. And my cat Lucy does these weird things. Like she comes up like when I'm like laying on the bed and she'll just slap me in the face, like bitch slap me. And she's a 13-year-old crabby ass old Siamese. And then she does this other thing where she's like, I'll be petting her, all of a sudden she'll just bite me. But she doesn't bite me like she's mad because she'll want me to keep petting her. So I looked up on Google. I said, I'm going to look up. This is, when I told y'all that how much weight loss time takes, where's your margins? This was me. Let me Google how cats love you. And of course, thousands of people had asked that question before. And one of them was Slapping you in the face is a way a cat tells you that they love you. Biting. There was like all these weird things. And so Chris and I literally laid there and laughed, and then we recounted all the times that we noticed our cats doing this stuff. That's what I'm talking about. As silly as it sounds, so many of us are so focused on thinking about everything that went wrong today, everything that's not going right. We forget to just find small joy in life. And when you're consciously and deliberately looking for it, because it is not my habit is to find what's wrong. All human brains are designed to look for danger first and like nice things dead last. You have to consciously and deliberately do that stuff. So if you see yourself constantly relying on food, it is your job and it is your requirement to teach yourself how to do this and to do it like your life depends on it. Because your dreams, your happiness, and your life do depend on that. All of it depends on it. And it's there for you. Look for the things that are right. Look for the small moments to find the joy. Give your brain that dopamine hit so that it is not looking for a sugar dopamine hit. The more you can give it some joy and some peace and some relief and stuff from the way you think, the way you're observing the world, the way that you choose to show up, the less it needs the food. That's what I teach my tribe members, like a religion. That is all we talk about. Because it is not about the meal plans. All of you are like, yeah, can you tell me, what meal plan I will get? Can you tell me, I'm really one of those people who needs a shopping list. Like, I'm just going to need a shopping list. Like, no, you fucking don't need a shopping list. No one needs a fucking shopping list. Learn how to make a damn shopping list and feel like a boss lady because you know how to make a fucking shopping list. You do not need me to help you with that. Trust me, none of you do. What you need is to let me teach you how to let go of all the diet bullshit rules you have that make you think that you're so ignorant that you can't make a shopping list. Like that is like your fear that you'll screw it up. That's what you need to work on. You do not need a shopping list. You need to get over your fucking fear of not being able to make a shopping list because you think you're going to do it wrong. And somehow you're going to fail on your diet. That's what has to happen. Betsy, can you check these off? Because I keep getting lost. Do I need to be hungry to eat joy exception food, or can it be in addition to when I'm eating what I plan for when I'm hungry? It can be in addition, Christina. It's fine. I think that joy food is always more enjoyed when it is actually, when you're hungry for it. For me, that's a personal thing, but you don't have to. I have always wondered, how did you come up with the name Fit and Fat? Thank you so much for all the content. I came up with it on my couch. I've actually talked about this in a few podcasts and stuff, but basically I was back in the day, I followed this girl who did fat camps, PHAT, pretty hot and tempting camps. And we would go and we'd work out and stuff. And I just loved her and I loved everything about those fitness camps and stuff. And when I was trying to come up with a name, that getting fit for me was so monumental because I'd never played sports. And so when I started learning how to lift weights and actually do running and all that kind of stuff, it was fucking huge. And so I wanted fit to be part of it. When does the April sign up start? April 3rd. How do you find out the why? I can't figure out why when I overeat. You have to ask yourself, why was I overeating? If you say, I don't know, then you need to take 10 to 20 guesses as to why it could be. What was I looking for? What did I not want to be doing? What feeling did I most want? What feeling did I have? What happened 3 hours prior to this overeat? You have to just keep asking different versions of why. Can you pay for 6 months or a year in one lump sum so you don't have to put it on a credit card? No, we don't do it that way. But what you can do, this is what I tell everyone. You can just go ahead and put that money into your checking account or into a separate savings account and know that that is your PNP money. And then when your bill comes, you learn how to just do what you say you will do, which is I will take the money and then I will pay it off. It will be a really good lesson for some of you to be able to practice planning, practice saving, and not just like spending money because like, well, I was going to do this PNP thing, but I'm going to buy this, whatever it is, pay this bill or something. Like, I will not pay I want you all to pay your bills. Please, for fuck's sake, do not go into debt going into PNP. But like thinking about it, like how we do our money is so closely tied to how we do our weight loss. A lot of you need a financial diet as much as you need a personal diet. And so I just tell people, like, if it's really important to you, figure out what you're willing to sacrifice in your life to pay for it. Somebody did something this morning where she broke down how much PNP would cost her for 1 year. And then she broke it down by day. Let me see if I can find that. It was so good. Yeah. So, and she even updated. She realized her math was wrong. She's like me. She said $2.57 a day. Most of us are spending more money at the vending machine and on Starbucks than that. Or just on bullshit. It's $18 a week. And I was like, yeah. So like, guys, think about this. If you want to save up and stuff, then just save up for one of the openings. But don't like tell yourself that like, well, like if I don't pay for it now, then I'm likely to spend that money. That'd be like saying, okay, so if you don't eat now, I'm likely to overeat later. Does that sound familiar? You need to learn how to just do what you say you will do. If it's important to you, put it in a savings account, pay, and then every month, no, that money is not touched. That is my weight loss money. It is holy grail over there. And it pays my bill every month so I can keep losing my weight. Like, those are just some of the things that you have to do in life. Oops, I'm on the wrong page. How long should it take to get off the wait list? I feel like I've been on it for months. You probably have, Kelly. Everybody's been on the wait list since January. So that only open 4 times a year. So Kelly, if you need to make sure you're getting our emails. Email support@pnptribe.com, because if you've been on it longer than January and you missed all my emails in January saying we're open, that means that your email provider is not letting my emails come to you. Because I guarantee you, if you're on my list, you're getting emails about our opening, about when we're opening, and all that kind of stuff. Will newbies get to do the April course along with everyone else? Yes. So, is it Meryl or I think it's Merle, actually. Sorry, I've been mispronouncing your name. Yes. So that course that we're doing in April, which is the bonus course for all my members, is called Taking Action. I made sure that it aligned perfectly with what the newbies are doing in April with the No BS course. So when you join, you're going to do the No BS. You're going to do your weight loss course. And then this other one goes right along with it. There's no extra work. It is not like a lot of worksheets or anything. It is one page every day. You do something you don't want to do, and then we're going to talk about it. That's how we're going to roll. And so there are, it's just such a good course, because like one of the problems that I see most people say is, all right, I know what to do. I get all of it, but I'm still not able to just do it. So how do I go from knowing what to do, wanting to do it, but I'm not? So that is what we're focusing in on this month. So it'll be really good for everyone. What is the purpose of MCT oil? For me, it helps me poop. It's really good for brain cognition. So a lot of times when I wake up at 4:30 in the morning, I do like a 2 to 3 hour work block before I take my son to school. So I like to be on fire first thing in the morning. So it just kind of like, MCT oil is just really good for the brain. We also have like dementia and Parkinson's and Alzheimer's that runs in my family. So I'm always trying to game how to take care of my brain. We also have a fuck ton of autoimmune disease and joint issues in my family. If my mom is still here, she can tell you joint issues run strong in this family. Both of my parents are about bionic by now. And so I'm very protective of my joints. So it's just a lot of lubing the joints and things like that. How do I get through PMS? Girl, Melissa, you let me know, because I'm in the middle of my period right now. I'm trying to plow through, but seriously, it's hard. It's odd. I was 6 months away from freedom. Then last month I had the visitor. Well, now this month I'm feeling like I did when I was 12. Yeah, I feel you. All I can tell you is wear big ass pads. That's what I do. I mean, I break through and I have to sit on a towel for 3 days. I'm not joking. I have to sit on a towel because I break through so much. I get extremely exhausted. It's one of the reasons why I'm just walking and doing mild activity this week. I literally had to move while I was on my period. I thought I was going to die. I take a lot of Midol, drink a lot of water. I also plan accordingly with my food. I know that when I'm on my period, I want all the carbs. So my plan reflects a very carb heavy diet when I'm on my period. I also know that I'm going to want, my iron levels are going to tank. So, all right. So I'm Southern and I love fried chicken livers. Just y'all can go vomit in the comments all you want, but I love them. But I have my little posse of chicken liver lovers out there. Either tonight or tomorrow night, my husband will go to Cracker Barrel because it's really hard to find fried chicken livers here in Nashville. It just pisses me off. But he'll go to Cracker Barrel and bring me fried chicken livers, and it will be like an immediate rebound in my iron. Are there other types of overeating than emotional? PNP groupie. Yeah, I mean, there's habitual overeating, there's binge eating, there's just, your typical overeating. There's all kinds. Like basically, you think about a lot of people restrict and then they binge. You think about the people who are just in the habit and they just can't break the habit. You have a lot of people use it as avoidance, but it almost always comes down to some kind of emotional. But guys, don't read too much into the emotional part. Some of you think it's like, is there something deeply wrong with me? It's like, no. Sometimes it can just be like, I don't like being bored. Like I'm so used to having constant something going on that when I'm just going to sit because I'm tired, my brain can't even handle being bored, so I eat. Like that's also emotional eating. I find that I get to 2 fast. Most people do, but it only lasts for about 2 to 3 hours. Should I eat past 2? Maybe you're not at your complete 2. Just eat a little bit more and see what happens. Can your cortisol levels be reduced by losing weight? Your cortisol levels are more reduced when you take stress out of your life. So when you end your stressful thoughts, when you take more breaks. Like I'm a big believer in taking breaks about every hour. In fact, I can tell that we've been on an hour because I'm like, my brain is starting to space out. I usually get up and I walk around and I do something for 5 to 10 minutes. Sometimes I do some deep breathing. I schedule a 20-minute nap every day. So like when I take my lunch, most of the time I do a 20-minute nap, then I eat my lunch, and then within 40 minutes, I'm back into the groove. Sometimes I even just walk outside and I breathe deeply for a few, like maybe 2 to 3 minutes and just kind of like recollect, and I come back in and I get started again. So a lot of that reduces cortisol levels. And then like I noticed that I was really puffy and bloated the week before my move. Nothing had changed in my diet and stuff, but I could just tell it was because I was like getting things done each day. I was working really focused, really hard, and that kind of stuff. Really wasn't having super stressful thoughts, but I knew that I was on timelines. And so I was meeting them, but I could just tell, like I would literally go to bed and be winded, where I was just running on cortisol and adrenaline the entire time. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm so tired now. Because like, if you guys have ever thought about once you do something and you, like you come to the end of it, then what happens is that you feel like this like huge, like, like you can breathe. It's because your body is all tensed up and stuff. Is it okay to just focus on the 4 basics to get my weight loss started? Lost and gained in the last 3 months. And I feel like I'm doing too much of the head work and not enough of the 4 basics. Do the 4 basics. The 4 basics though, almost always are what are triggering the head stuff. It's kind of the way it's supposed to happen. But yeah, like if you want to, I would just get really focused on the 4 basics. I would just tell myself my head stuff is no excuse to not do the 4 basics. The 4 basics take me no time. No time. Like the 4 basics, literally, the longest one is sleep, which takes 7, but that takes nothing from you. The rest of it, it's like 2 to 2, just takes paying attention while you're already eating. Like it takes no more time. When you do your 24-hour plan in your assessment, you're talking 2 to 7 minutes a day. It takes no more time. Like, you should do all of that first. Spend 5 minutes of your day getting that part down. Then the rest of the day you can do your head work. You have all these extra minutes to do all the head work. All right, guys, I think that's about it. If you will, make sure you're on the wait list if you're not, pnptribe.com. Guys, if you go over there, you will see not only the wait list, but you're going to see like a lot of your questions are going to be answered. For all of you who want to do health savings accounts, if you'll go all the way to the bottom of the page at the frequently asked questions, I have instructions in there for you to be able to look in to see if your health savings accounts and things like that, if they will apply to PNP. And there's also all kinds of other questions that are answered there. Plus, we have some testimonial videos. We have all kinds of good stuff for those of you who are considering joining. We open April 3rd. This Wednesday, let's see. I got to go to let me give y'all an announcement. March 27th at 7 p.m. Central Time, I'm going to do a free training on the 3 keys to weight loss. If you didn't see it last Saturday, I'm doing it one more time. You'll be able to come and join me live while I teach the 3 keys. If you want the link, all you have to do is go to Fit and Fat, PHIT-PHAT.com/spring-replays. All of it will be there. Groupies, those links are all in the free Facebook group for you. You can go over there and you can find it. And I'll be teaching that again. And then looks like that's it. You guys have a wonderful week. I will see some of you on the training, and then I will see a lot of you starting next week. I'm going to have some Ask Me Anything Facebook calls and all that kind of good stuff. So talk to you later. Bye, y'all.